Hey, welcome back to NewZeroland. This is me, riding in the bike lane because I have 1% battery left and I really want to make it to the next charging station without having to get off and push. Yep, this is a bicycle passing me. So you might be asking yourself, how did this sad situation come about? What am I even doing with my life? Well, it's a long story, so grab some snacks and get comfy, because it's time for my yearly episode of Charging Problems. So about a month ago, some DC charging stations stopped working. This is when I was stranded up north and that awesome lady Sue came and saved the day. I called up ChargeNet to ask what was going on and they said it was probably an issue with the bike. But what made this all confusing is that some stations still worked. This one up the coast in Waikanae and this one at Pack and Save. And these are both white stations and for some reason I can't get the black ones to work and so I started thinking my bike is racist. ChargeNet assured me that wasn't the case because all stations have the same hardware in them and that motorcycles can't be racist and there's probably just something wrong with my bike. But it still worked at some stations and it worked on all these stations before, so what gives? Well, I had the genius idea of running my bike down to 1% and using the same station that worked before, but this time it failed.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh my god.
Now you guys are all caught up. Cue cyclist. Oh, I made it to the other station though, don't worry. The bike goes into limp mode and when it ticks over to 0%, the range estimate goes away completely. But I managed to ride 3 kilometers on 0%. Slow charging on 0%, barely made it to this station. It's ridiculous. So that's about how long it takes to fully charge, 3.5 hours on 3 kilowatts. The onboard AC charger, just in case you wanted to know. Hopefully you never have to do this. My zero riding buddies Simon and Jez hung out with me for a few hours while I waited to charge, so thanks guys, you're awesome. I hate waiting. But that was yesterday, and yesterday sucked. Today, I took the whole bike apart, found out what was wrong, and I'm back to fast charging. But instead of just cutting straight to what the problem was, I'm gonna drag you all along on an epic, time-consuming search for the answer to this mystery. Because I feel like I haven't uploaded a video in a while and you guys deserve some kind of explanation, so here you go. I decided I should try every single DC charging station in the city and take you guys along for the ride. This is the one at Pack and Save, and I know that one works, so let's try this one next.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I'm shooting this video because I want to find out what's going on, and I mean partly I want to find out which stations I can use, and partly I want to find out whether it's the stations or the bike. You know, if there's something wrong with the bike, then it's like an easy thing. I can just order a part and replace it, hopefully. I don't know, hopefully that's easy. But if it's the stations, I can give ChargeNet all the data, or they can basically pull up my account and see which ones work and find out what the difference is between those stations. You know, maybe the software was updated on some of them and some of them have old software or firmware or whatever. It makes sense to me that if some of the stations work with the bike, then it's not the bike, right? The charging works, and so if some of the stations don't work, then something's wrong with those stations. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. So I'm gonna go and find out today. This is just such a weird issue that you know, if you have a gas bike, this isn't something that you would have to deal with. Like, you go to a gas station and the pump doesn't want to communicate with your bike for some reason. I don't know. This doesn't really make sense. It's like it's not something that you would normally have to deal with, and so it's a very unique electric vehicle problem that I'm dealing with today. But it's something that I need to figure out as soon as possible because this is preventing me from going on road trips, and I have a really big road trip planned at the end of the year, and if I can't get this stuff sorted out, then I can't fast charge, and I'm very, very limited on how many kilometers I can ride in a day. And I mean, I had all these other road trips planned before that. One of them was an epic 600 kilometer ride in one day, and so far I'm kind of like locked to my local area, which sucks for you guys because I really want to make videos and I really want to get out and travel more because, you know, I'm still stuck in New Zealand, which, although this seems like the best place in the world to be right now, I still want to be able to like travel around and see more of this country, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling on and I'll see if this station works. Alright. Let's, I should probably back in, huh? Yeah, with most of these stations, the cable isn't long enough, so you have to back in as close as you can get to plug it in. Alright, let's see if this thing works. CCS. Plug it in. Okay, swipe the little key fob. Go to max. Start. So you get the DC fast charge initialization on the dash, and it errored already. So I get an error 74, and it's telling me to just plug it back in. So error 74 is a CCS communication problem. Alright, so this station doesn't work, unfortunately. This is right across the street from the museum. This would be a cool spot to be able to charge, but alas, it does not work. So our trip continues. Alright, next up is the ChargeNet station outside of Les Mills. This gym kind of in the middle of the city. Let's try it. Error. Failure. Ugh. So that one didn't work. Let's try another one. Alright, next up I'm gonna go to a charging station outside of Noel Leeming, I think it is. There's an electronics store that has a parking spot right out front, and I've definitely used it before, so I know it used to work. Okay, can I even get to that one? Yeah. No entry, so it's just impossible to get there. What are you guys doing? Shooting a movie? Ugh, they're shooting a movie or something. Some commercial. Man, come on, seriously? Okay, so I can't even get to that charging station to test it. That's annoying. I mean, I guess I'm lucky that there's so many charging stations in the city that I can use, but I mean, I guess I can't use them, so it's frustrating. Frustration station. So this next place is cool because it's actually at a gas station, and I think there are like 4 charging spots. So let's check it out. Somebody's using the CCS actually on the big white one. So I'm here at Z station, or Z station, wherever you're from. They have these Mevo rental cars, like a electric hybrid, kind of like plug-in hybrid spots that you can rent these cars and then plug them in here. So there's an AC, I think it's like 3 kilowatts, and then another one, and then there's the normal ChargeNet station and another ChargeNet, like a Delta. I think it's lower power, but it still works. It's still CCS. So somebody's plugged in with a Hyundai Ioniq in the big one, so I'm going to use this Delta one. So let's see if it works. Because it's possible that they updated the software on this one too. Oh, that's not CCS. That's Chatamo. CCS on this side. Ugh. Mess of cables. Okay, plug it in. Yeah. DC fast charge initialization. Tap. Okay, authenticating. EV connected. My screen's all weird.
says preparing communication stop. So what does that mean? Is it still communicating? Still doing the initialization. Usually it started by now. What was that? Info, communication failed. Right. Okay, great. Yeah, cool. Just unplug and go somewhere else. Yeah. So obviously that's pretty annoying. And the most annoying part is that I have no idea why it's doing this. I'm not sure why it's not working, but I have a plan. So, turns out there's a charging station at like a kind of Whole Foods type place called More Wilson's, and that charging station is not owned by ChargeNet. It's a company called Thunder Grid, which I just heard about. My buddy Patrick told me about it, and so this is the official unbiased way to test whether or not the CCS works. Like if this one doesn't work, then it could be the bike, but if this one does work, then there's definitely something going on with ChargeNet, and that, you know, maybe some of their stations were changed and they don't work anymore, because I know for a fact that one of them does, which is just, it's such a mystery. So this will give me the definite answer of whether or not it's the bike or the stations. Entry. Let's see. It's not down here. Is it up here? Maybe. There it is. Sweet. Okay, here we go. Alright, first time using the Thunder Grid station. Let's see. I'm excited to have more options, more choices in New Zealand for like different companies. Like it sucks to have a whole different like pay method, because, you know, ChargeNet, you just swipe your fob and then you pay later and stuff, and this one you have to actually top up your account before using it. But it's just cool to have more stations. More stations around is always better, and there's actually one of these on the South Island, so maybe I can use that. But I mean, let's see if it works first. So, I have to go to their website and like initiate the charging station, I guess. Let's plug in. DC fast charge initialization. Select CCS, 25 kilowatts, sure, fine. Start charging. Charging is starting. Please connect the plug to your car. It's already plugged in, so okay. EV connected, it says. Preparing. Communication. Locking connector. Is that the problem? That it's not locking? What's going on? EV charger, locking connector fail. Maybe there is a problem with the connector locking in the port, because I have that problem with AC charging as well. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that, but I'm gonna try another station now.
20 minutes later.
Alright, I've ridden way out of my way to Island Bay. Hey, that rhymes. And there's another Delta station. It's a charge net. Let's see if this one works. I don't know. I don't even know why. Let's just try it. It's the last CCS station in the area, in the greater Wellington area, that I can try. I have a feeling though that these stations, like, I have this plug lock issue. But let's find out. Let's see, just see if it works. Who even knows whether or not it'll work? Authentication success. EV connected, preparing. Communication. Okay. Let's see if it wants to communicate. Locking connector. Is that gonna work? Ah, see, this is probably where it fails, when it tries to lock the connector. Maybe something's broken in the inlet, and it's not letting it lock? Yeah, lock connector fail. Okay, so that's why. Solves that mystery.
So, taking it all apart, I found out that that little thing right there, if you can see, I don't know, it's impossible to see, but that, whatever's being focused on right now, that little thing rotates when you plug in. So I'll plug in and you'll see it move. That's the lock. So it locks it. And now it's able to charge. Because usually I would get this little error that says there's a device, the inlet lock device fault or something like that. So when you charge on AC, it gives you that locking error, but after a few seconds it just starts charging anyway. But at DC stations, if the cable doesn't lock, the charging doesn't start. But the stations would just say CCS communication error. They wouldn't actually say that it was a locking problem. Not until I tried one of those Delta stations where it goes through every step of the process and tells you what it's doing. And then it all started to make sense. So I sent a message to my boy Lex, and he sent this back.
Do you see this piece of metal want to come up or moving? It makes clack, 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 clack once, twice or three times until the message appears something this didn't work with charging. I had the same, and I didn't know if I told you something was beneath in that hole, in that plug hole.
You know what I think was the problem was one of these cables. I'll show you. See these big, huge cables? I think one of them was pressing up against the lock. Maybe that one. So when I put on the this belly pan or whatever it is, the not belly pan, but like the big, cool, fancy carbon fiber thing that goes under this, like under the seat, maybe it was pressing the one of these cables up, and it was stopping the lock from moving. I think, maybe. That's just my guess. So maybe when I put the bike back together, that's when it stopped working. So it's probably all my fault, but I really hope that solved the problem. I'm gonna go and test it out and see if that works. Start doing stuff. Start. Do this. I believe in you. That's a good sound. It's making noise, it's doing stuff. Ooh. Oh, it's working. It's working. Oh my god, it's working. So that seems to be the issue, that just one of the cables was in the way, and so that little locking thing just couldn't rotate all the way around to actually lock, because it was trying. We could hear it trying. It was just like zzz, 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 and it just couldn't move. So I'm not making that sound again. So it seems like that fixed it. So yeah, now I can fast charge and actually go on road trips. So get ready for more videos finally. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.